What is going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the channel. I'm Sean Davis. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. We got a lot of great content coverage here as regards to the Lakers here coming to this channel. So make sure you guys do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button. We got a little bit of an update again today on the Lakers trade front. This is coming again from LA Times, Dan Winke. He was on the Rogan and Ronnie show yesterday, and he had some takeaways from that show. There's some key takeaways from that show. Hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any content. Probably already said that. So a couple of updates here. Number one, Dan says that he does not think Austin Reeves will be traded. The Lakers see him as an all-star and would want an all-star type of return. So really quickly, just addressing this piece. We talked a lot about Austin Reeves here on this channel recently. I think this is somewhat justified, their viewpoint on Austin. And this is, that sucks. People are going to hear me say that and get pissed and, hit the, I don't have a remote right by me, but hit the change the channel button or change the video button. But Austin Reeves, in the Lakers' eyes, played like an all-star the minute they traded D'Angelo Russell. And I think they view Austin's, unfortunate playoff performance due to his injury. I think they just view that, they attribute the playoffs, woes, if you will, to the injury. So it makes sense from their logic that they view him as an all-star. Now, with that being the case, if you view him as an all-star and you want an all-star type of return, then that kind of signals that the Lakers are going to weigh this thing out with Austin, and they're going to offer him the 4-year for $89 million extension. But in a realistic scenario where Austin Reeves declines that and hopes to get a bigger offer, I very much expect the Lakers to be like, okay, cool, we will revisit this next summer, and we will give you the bag for however much that would be. I don't know the specifics on that. More importantly now, to get off that, talk about the center market. The two names that comes up the most in trade scenarios for a big is Daniel Gaffer and Nic Claxton. We specifically talked about Daniel Gaffer in a previous video and why his fit next to Luka just makes so much sense. With the lob threat ability, the fact that he can anchor and play a lot of drop and just protect the rim for you. Nic Claxton actually is coming off of a season where, in a situation where it felt like a lot of people kind of surprised expectations in Brooklyn last season, it felt like Nic Claxton was the one guy in Brooklyn that kind of underwhelmed to a certain extent. In a situation where everybody else, Cam Johnson had an amazing year, Keon Johnson kind of broke LA in the year. Excuse me. They had so many really cool stories to talk about with how surprisingly good they were at the start of the year. And then, even kind of how things matriculated towards the end of the season. Like, there were still so many positive stories about that Nets team, and Nic Claxton just wasn't really one of them. Did not have the best year of his career. He's not this. I do think he's the considerably worse offensive player. I think Daniel Gaffer is easily the better offensive player than Nic Claxton. Claxton just hasn't consistently developed yet as an offensive player, and that's super unfortunate. I think Claxton's a solid rim protector. I think I would even argue he's somewhat comparable to a Gafford as a rim protector, in my opinion. I think the play with Claxton is, in theory, he's supposed to be way more versatile defensively, and he still grades out well. If you look at Bball Index, his perimeter isolation defense graded as a B in the 73rd percentile. So that's somewhat encouraging. So you're looking at the more versatile defensive big man, the better defensive rebounding big man as well. 7.2 defensive rebounds per 75 possessions, 86th percentile per Bball Index. Way better, a wildly better contested rebounder compared to Gafford. Again, not the greatest finisher, not a short role playmaker, doesn't honestly provide a ton of offensive value, in my opinion, at least, unless he is catching the ball literally and it's point blank at the rim. So a down year for Claxton offensively, and you hope, honestly, that if you do trade for Claxton, you get back to 2023 Nic Claxton. Even like last year, Nic Claxton, I thought actually was pretty good. It's just this year was a down year for him. So that's kind of my thoughts on Claxton. Claxton makes sense. You're not trading Austin Reeves for Nic Claxton, though. Dan also thinks that the Lakers will see how the draft unfolds. If a team drafts a center, maybe it opens up a possibility for a trade with that team for their existing center. Also mentions that Walker Kessler is not available. So really quickly, we're talking about the fact that see what another team does. Hint, what the Dallas Mavericks are going to do with Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is not a big, but their front court is going to be stacked. We've already seen reports about how the Dallas Mavericks are going to have to pay Derek Lively. They already have AD locked up. Now you walk into a Cooper Flag situation like you are investing significant resources into your front court, and it makes sense for the Mavs to trade off potentially. And then also you still have PJ, and now maybe do you even consider trading PJ? So seeing what the Mavs are going to do with PJ and Gaffer this summer is going to be really, really interesting. That's just a perfect example, I think, of what Dan's talking about. He does mention Clint Capella as a stopgap free agent option, and I do want to bring this up. If the Lakers are going to improve on the big spot, and that's kind of been something that has been talked about in Chicago for the for the Lakers and what they're looking at this upcoming summer, is if the Lakers are going to make any type of move to improve their center situation, it is more than likely going to come to the trade market, because these big options are not appeasing and they're not good to look at, basically. I'm a little discombobulated. I'll explain at the end of the video. Brook Lopez can stretch the floor. Not the worst. He's a fine rim protector still in theory, but can't move worth anything. And he's 37. We're trying to get younger and more athletic. Clint Capella is the most just mid signing ever. Miles Turner I think he's secured the bag for himself. I think Indiana is going to extend him and pay him. Nas Reed, similar situation, out of the Lakers' pay range. Steven Adams would be lovely, but again, I don't think you'd be able to afford Steven Adams. A guy that I really like that would be awesome is like a Luke Cornett. You get a Luke Cornett for a taxpayer level or a biannual exception. Those two guys would be great. Mo Wagner coming out the ACL, I think. Maybe his was Achilles. But you guys see the options here. It's not great. We are literally looking at Luke Cornett, Deron Sharp's bird rights, and bringing back Jackson Hayes. So if the Lakers want to make any semblance of improvements on their big situation, they're going to have to improve on the trade market. And if that means you get Gafford or a Claxton, and then we try to go get a Jackson Hayes like a Luke Cornett, I think you've done your job. I think that is a 10 times better big man rotation than what you're currently looking at. Because if you get a Claxton or a Daniel Gafford, you're looking at a middle of the pack big, starting level big, maybe above average, or maybe like a good starting big if you get Pete Claxton back. And then you're getting two backup bigs. That's awesome. Where really in reality you had one backup big and a bunch of dudes you picked up off the street. So Lakers have to address the big situation. I think they have a lot of options. The trade market combined with their smaller options in free agency. But I do want to let you guys know some stuff happened. I've now just become the head coach and I'm wearing the shirt here and move my mic out of the way. Nothing's gonna change with the channel. I've just accepted the role. This is the same school that I was at last year, and I have all our accomplishments from last season. Made the state Final Four, lost to the state championship game by 2, had a chance to win it, missed the free throw, and was able to get the job done. But I'm taking over as the head coach here, so super excited about that. Super excited about the channel and the growth we're making here. Super excited about the other stuff that I'm doing. It's a great time to be a basketball fan right now. So do me a big favor and honor me getting the head coaching job. If you stuck around, hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. Try to get 100 likes on the video, guys. Thank you all so much. As always, go Lake Show. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.